Let's get to know my new blue death feigning beetles. Hello everyone, welcome back to Spooderpods. I'm David and today we are doing a formal introduction for my blue death feigning beetles. I'm going to show you some nice great close-up footage of them, going to introduce you to them, their names because that's always an important bit, and show you the kind of enclosure I have given them to set them up in. Now the Asbolus vericosus, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, or blue death feigning beetle, is an absolutely fascinating type of beetle. It's one I've wanted to keep for absolutely ages, so when I saw them in on the spider shop, I couldn't help but pick up a trio of them. They are very active, they're beautiful, and their husbandry is apparently not too complex. They are quite hardy, they need a dry environment, which is something I like to provide because I've got loads of wet ones, so having some animals that require something a bit drier is a bit better. And just their appearance and their personality, they're constantly falling over, they're scurrying around exploring, and I quite like that about them. They're also quite long-lived from what I'm told, and again, as I mentioned earlier, they're quite hardy, and I think that's quite important for me because I want them to last a long time and hopefully have a really great and engaging experience with me. Now, names-wise, we decided to name them Scooter, Scoop and Scallywag, a bit of alliteration there for you. They're all settling in quite well, and they've tried to play dead a couple of times when we were popping them in, but generally they went in very comfortably and they started exploring their environment very quickly. Food-wise, you can feed them all sorts. I've seen variable information about moisture requirements, so I'm going to be very cautious there, because some say too much moisture can actually kill them. But we'll sort of explore it as we go along, and I'll do my research as I always do. They're quite rare in the UK as well because breeding them is exceptionally difficult because the grub can be very, very fragile. With regards to enclosure, I went for a sort of standard sort of size. It may have to be upgraded size-wise in the future. I'm going to keep an eye on them. It's just basically a 25 by 15 by 15, I think it was, that I went for. Maybe slightly smaller. If I've got it wrong, I'll try and correct it. And it's just basically Entoscape kind of critter keeper enclosure. And I put in the usual sand substrate with enough depth because they do like to burrow. Put in a little hide, coconut hide, which is actually edible for them, some spider wood, a little T-Rex skull, some fake plants, and a bit of leaf litter as well. I'm going to observe how they get on with it, how much they interact with it, and maybe change it over as time goes on. And if I do decide to rehouse them into a bigger enclosure, maybe put even more there. They are quite exploratory from what I've told. They like to roam around, they do like to burrow, so it's something I really want to be able to provide for them to give them as much enrichment and the best environment I possibly can. I don't really expect them to breed or anything like that. I'm just happy if they're happy, and again, I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Something I am a little bit nervous of is a moisture requirement, because I imagine they'll need some. They eat like dead bugs and stuff and scavenge in the wild, so trying to get that to them may have to be through like maybe vegetables or fruit supplied in limited quantities. Again, it's something I plan to research, and eventually I may do a guide on them once I know what I'm doing properly to help teach you guys if you decide you want some yourself. Now, here's just a little bit more cute footage of them to round off the video. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, from Scooter, Scoop and Scallywag and me, take care and see you later.